Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. My name is Bill Horan, and I'm here with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Zac Turkel. And today we're shining a spotlight on parenting.
And it is one of the most important jobs out there, Bill. And today I'd like to introduce our listeners to the Long Island Parenting Institute, a division of the EAC Network.
And joining us today is Grazielle Simonetti, Long Island Parenting Institute Parent Educator, and their Program Director Kathryn Cannino. Grazielle and Kathryn, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here.
Yes, thanks for having us.
You're going to tell us all about parenting today, so we're going to start right at the beginning. What is the Long Island Parenting Institute, and what does it do?
So the Parenting Institute is one program of EAC Network. EAC Network is a nonprofit organization in its 50th year of service, and the Parenting Institute has been around now for 8 years. And we are here to serve as a resource for parents throughout Nassau and Suffolk. And we offer classes and workshops and support groups that really help empower parents by teaching them effective evidence-based tools to utilize with their parenting tool belt.
Now, resource sounds like a nice word.
Yeah.
And that's handy. Now, do you get a call late at night saying, I hate this kid. Can you take him, get him out of this house?
Parenting.
He's playing the drums till midnight? Or, What does that resource mean? Like, how do people use that resource?
Right. So the bulk of what we're providing is parent workshops and support groups. So if parents are having an issue at home or want to just enhance their skills altogether, they can contact us and we will plug them into a workshop that best fits their needs. We have workshops for parents of infants. We have a separate group for parents of toddlers and preschoolers. We have our Common Sense Parenting class for parents of school-age children. And then we have appropriately named a support group for parents of adolescents. It tends to be a really tricky time within parenting.
Yeah, that could be the master's class, I guess. You get your doctorate in parenting.
That is the truth.
Ever have somebody like Zac? His parents, you can tell. His name is Zac Turkel. Is his name in there? Did you
all this
that?
Confidential, but
we know what that means. Yeah. You're on the list.
I'm very thankful that my parents are not. I'm very thankful that I am a well-behaved kid, but I don't know about the adolescents.
You're saying that your parents aren't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're saying the opposite. I'm pretty sure I drove my parents crazy during my adolescence years, and I probably still do now. You mentioned earlier that the Parenting Institute started 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. Who was the person that created it, and how did this jumpstart into this organization that we have now?
Administratively throughout EAC are some great minds and ideas, and collaboratively within the administration, I know they wanted to find a program that would specifically support parents. And I've been with the Parenting Institute for 6 out of those 8 years, and there's a great team of us, of parent educators and myself as a director, and we have a regional director and so forth that really work well together to offer parents a variety of information and classes.
I'm just thinking, this may come out almost as a joke, but do you ever get the call from someone's neighbor and say, get my neighbor in there, they got 3 kids, I can't stand them, and bring them in?
So, joking aside, I often receive emails and calls from people that are looking for information that they could pass along to friends and family.
That's a nice way to put it.
Grandparents calling, saying, I think my grandchild needs some support, my daughter needs some help. We get that a lot.
I really said that as a joke because I thought, we'll get a laugh out. But you do get those calls, huh?
We do.
Yeah.
You got to get your phone number. Listen, everybody, they'll be giving the phone number. If that kid down the block that you just hate, you can get the phone number and call Kathryn and Grazielle, and they'll help you.
Well, and I think it also speaks to that parenting has become very isolated in our culture, and we're often afraid to step in and offer support or ideas to other parents for fear of judgment or fear of not being received well. And so it's nice to have a program like ours where we're not going to give you our opinion, quote unquote. We're really there to give you effective information that's been proven over time through research.
And one of our beliefs is that parents are the experts on their children. And we really respect that and respect their journey. And a lot of parents come out of our class saying one of the great benefits is having other parents to connect to, like Kathryn is saying, to get advice from, to get support from, who are also going through challenges, so they don't feel so isolated in the process. So that is an added benefit to the classes.
I didn't think of that, but that really is important. If there's somebody there who can share it with you, they can probably do half, if not more than that, of your work by just saying, I had that problem, or it'll stop in 2 weeks, or don't worry about it.
And we invite that. We'll ask parents, does anyone here have any strategies that have worked for them? And we really encourage that interaction.
I bet you get some good ideas from
Absolutely.
them, too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're the best. Now, it sounds funny, but why does parenting education matter? Don't we all kind of know what to do?
Right. Well, I don't. I'm not a parent.
Not you.
Yeah, well, essentially, we, like it or not, we end up parenting the way we were parented, right? We've been in a parenting class, so to speak, our whole upbringing. And so it matters what we're doing and to parent our own children, in the sense that we have a great impact on the type of person they'll become moving forward. And as we've moved away from community and the village and shared responsibility within parenting, we find that it's even more important to have some support groups and some places that we can go to get that information.
And parents will often say, parenting doesn't come with a manual. We need this. We need these classes. We need this support. So we do have instincts. We have parental instincts, but there's so many other factors that are into play, one being temperament that we're going to talk about today, our own anxieties, like Kathryn said, the way we were parented, what we're seeing on social media. There's so many things that impact our experience, and it doesn't come with a manual. So having this class that offers actual strategies and support, again, is so helpful for families.
Every time I ask a question, I think of three more. So as I'm looking at one I was thinking of today, is it a separate, not literally a division there, but are new problems coming up because of single parenting? You hear so many people say, I'm a single parent. It's almost like a designation. I'm Irish, Italian, left-handed. Does that bring with it new problems and need for education in that field?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, we're working on some new programming within the Parenting Institute, and that is to offer classes that are 2 hours in length, 3 hours in length, less of a time commitment. And one of those, it will be our co-parenting class. And that's to help parents co-parent effectively together, because it brings with it its own set of time restraints, financial restraints, and parenting styles are now being done differently in two different households, and trying to find that mix and that blend and that consistency for your child when you simply don't see eye to eye with the other parent. And we have a lot of strategies around that, and we hope that will help improve some of these relationships.
And I didn't even think of that you still have, even though one is a single parent, you still have the other parent there, and one might be easy and one's the tough ex-Marine or something, and vice versa. And I didn't even think, but that's another element you have to bring in.
And what might often happen with those types of situations is then grandparents are stepping in to offer additional support, but with grandparents come another style of parenting, opinions, more ideas. So that's another layer of complication.
I want free tips because I'm a grandparent now. So
absolutely.
After the show, I expect a few free tips.
You got it.
I'm almost certain the grandparents, they're probably going to be more laid back, more easygoing, and the parents, they'll be like, I want a cookie, and then the grandparents are like, here, have a cookie, and then the parents are going to be like, where did you get that cookie from? They're probably going to be thinking that.
Zach, I saw a great sign in one of the stores. Grandparents that were created to teach children mischief they would not otherwise have thought of.
I love
that.
that.
That's what I try to do every time. So I have to admit that's the perfect sign for me.
Yeah, and I just want to let our listeners know that you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Zac Turkel, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Long Island Parenting Institution with Grazielle Simonetti and their parent educator and their program director, Kathryn Cannino. So my next question, and this one is an interesting one. Who does Long Island Parenting Institute serve? How many parents do you typically serve each year? Is it a big number? Is it a small number?
Yeah, we on average serve about 700 parents per year, and that's through our various classes and support groups. So we serve parents of children, or parents, expectant parents, all the way through parents of adolescents, and I will say even beyond. We often, or occasionally rather, will get parents of 18, 19, 20-year-olds who want to learn how to parent their child into more independence, and so that's something we welcome as well.
Is that the
more
way
rebellious?
of saying get them out of the house?
The more
How do I
rebellious?
get them out of here?
Kathryn, I think you're going for a politician's job. You word things so nicely, but I know what you're saying behind it. Like, I want them out of the house.
That's up for
How do I
interpretation.
get them to transition? How do I do that? So you make it sound
He's
so
just
nice.
sitting in our basement eating potato chips and watching YouTube videos all day long.
Now, ladies, if someone is hearing this, and I hope they're hearing it because we're doing all this work for them, for our audience, how would they get in touch with you? Where are you located? Give us all those good details.
So our main office is located in Central Islip, and I can be reached there at the phone number 631-648 7100, and I'm extension 217. You can also access through the EAC website, which is eacnetwork.org.
Grazielle, did you have something?
You also have other locations, as you mentioned earlier,
yes,
right?
We although the main office is in Central Islip, we teach classes in Hempstead, Hauppauge, Central Islip, and we will come to organizations that will have us as well.
Oh, so if there's a church group or a Lions group or what are the other ones?
Library, schools, anyone who will have us will come in and talk.
You'll come. Okay. No, that's great to know. And I think for the parents, sometimes it might be a distance or travel might be an issue.
Yes.
So,
well, what about? I'm sorry, Bill, but what about college institutions? Because I've seen many students here at Nassau that are parents themselves. Would you ever come to like a college institution? Talk about parenting?
Absolutely.
I know it sounds kind of weird because when you're in college, you're kind of focusing on your career, but there are some people that are older and they come back and they are parents.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in prevention. So if this is reaching college students, as I know it is, I say take a parenting class before you have children, because that's when you have the time and the energy to do so.
Well, I might consider it, but I think it's going to be a long, long time before I have kids. I don't want to think
of that. That might stop you from having them. It might. Once they bring show and tell,
I got to learn stuff? No.
And they may turn out like you, so there's another reason.
That's right, Zach Jr.
Yes. Oh, jeez. Now you got us really scared. Now, is this like a college course? Is it like 3 months or 6 months or a semester? Or like if someone's trying to get a picture of it visually, how often would they come? Once a month, once a week?
On average, our classes run for 6 weeks, 2 hours each week, and we'll meet on the same evening for 6 consecutive weeks. So right now, I can tell you that we're scheduled for Wednesday evenings for the near future from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in our various locations. As I mentioned earlier, we are looking to create more one-day workshops that would be closer to 2 hours, 3 hours in length. And so we're getting that ball rolling, and that will be coming out soon.
So you're really serving everybody's needs. If they can't make it the Wednesdays, or if they want the one day, the quickie version.
Yeah,
or the
that's our hope.
version.
I mean, with becoming a parent also comes a lot of challenges, and some of those are time restraints and financial and so forth. So we really want to make an offering that's open to everybody.
Now that leads us into a good question. You must see a lot of different challenges that the people come up with, and this is an opportunity to help some of the people over the air. Can you tell us some of the stories you've come across, how they were helped, or what a parent asked you about?
So a lot of parents will come with concerns around what they call temper tantrums, handling oppositional behaviors, children with higher levels of anxiety. We're seeing more and more children who are having some challenges around impulse control. So those are a lot of the themes that we're kind of seeing throughout, even all the different ages, that parents are coming in asking for some support and some skills with.
I found, you said you get tips from other parents. I found very easily when Zach's having a temper tantrum, I just give him some chicken McNuggets.
Perfect.
He's
Great.
very obedient. He listens to me then. He sits back. He's like that commercial where the guy gets angry and he has the.
Do you mind doing a guest lecture then for one of our classes? That's perfect.
I'll have to bring Zach and you'll have to pay for the chicken McNuggets.
But here's the thing. If I keep on complaining and you keep on giving me the chicken nuggets, I'm going to keep on whining and then I'm going to keep getting everything. It's not going to solve anything. Right.
All right. Then I'm going to give you cheeseburgers and broccoli from now on.
I want that, Bill.
See, I knew it. Then you'll behave yourself.
Right.
Just to share a funny story, we had one dad who was taking our class, and we have reading assignments week to week, and he had fallen asleep on the couch with the book open on his chest, and it was the chapter on negative consequences. And his daughter, who I believe she was around 14 at the time, picked up the book, started looking through it while he was still asleep, saw that this topic was negative consequences, and hits him to wake him up and says, "You're going to do this today?" She was horrified that the consequences were coming her way.
So does that tell us now you don't give people homework anymore? So they get in trouble?
Yeah. We ask them to do it in secret.
Or do it in secret and take the book in the bathroom and you're reading it while you're sitting in there. At this point in the show, I think it's a perfect time for a break.
Definitely.
My name is Bill Horan. I'm here with Zac Turkel, and today we're talking to the Long Island Parenting Institute with Grazielle Simonetti, their parent educator, and their program director, Kathryn Cannino. You're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present.
When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium.
When I grow up, I want to be a warm place on a cold day.
When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash.
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch.
I want to be a skyscraper.
I want to be When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
And now we return to My Hometown.
We're back on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Bill Horan. I'm here with Zac Turkel, and today we're talking about the Long Island Parenting Institution with Grazielle Simonetti, their parent educator, and their program director, Kathryn Cannino. Zac, you had a question.
I definitely do. Can you tell us a little bit about child temperament? That's a big word for parents, and how that impacts parent and child relationships and parenting strategies and connecting and correcting and supporting children.
Sure. So our temperament is our basic nature. It's the characteristics that we're born with that affect how we respond to the world. And there's different temperament traits and characteristics that we talk about, including activity level, distractibility, persistence, and how that's meaningful for parents and parent education is that we want to tune into what our own temperament is and what our child's temperament is, because one has an effect on the other. And there's a phrase in parent education called goodness of fit. And what that means is how compatible our temperament is with the environment, and the environment being parenting and the way that we parent. And it has nothing to do with if you're a good parent. It's just about the fit, the compatibility. So what that means is, let's say we're talking about activity level. And you, as a parent, have a fairly sedentary lifestyle. You like to lay on the couch and watch TV. You like to watch movies and relax. And you have a child that's very active, who's jumping all around the house, who's bouncing all over the place, on the go, go, go. That can be a real challenge for that parent who likes things calm, who likes activities that are quieter, and that can cause conflict, and that can cause stress for the family, for the parents. You think about distractibility, right? So how easily distracted are we? If you are a parent who is very focused, you can read a book cover to cover, never looking up, never hearing the train, never hearing the phone ring. You're super focused, and then you have a child that's very easily distracted. Well, think about what homework looks like in that household. Probably very frustrating, right? And the parent might not understand. Well, just sit down and do your homework. What is the problem? And how frustrating that can be, and not knowing instinctively about setting breaks or being mindful of the time of day that you are asking them to sit and complete a task. If you think about sociability, if your personality as a parent is that you are very outgoing and friendly and you can walk into a room and say hi to anybody, and then you have a child that's very shy and quiet, you might be really stressed about, how do I support this child? I don't understand. Go in the room and say hi. What's the big deal? And not knowing how stressful that is for that child. So those are the ways that there can be some challenges in how understanding your child's temperament and learning how to alter some parts of your behavior can really help create peace and connection within the household.
You know, I have to say I'm very impressed. If you ladies each had a white jacket on, I would think you're doctors. Seriously.
That's so nice.
No, you seem very at ease with what you're talking about.
So nice.
Very knowledgeable.
That's so nice.
And having the right answers. In fact, most doctors today aren't that knowledgeable. I think you're better. But no, I would say to parents, I'm getting a great degree of confidence sitting here listening to you.
Oh,
that
thank you.
If someone wanted some help, not only do you obviously know what you're doing from your positions in the organization, but when you're talking and answering the questions, I would have confidence that this is going to work, or it's going to give us a good chance, and somehow I can discipline Zac by the time we
And how are you going to do that, Bill?
I'm not going to tell you. The lady's going to tell me.
Off air.
Right. I'm going to get that book, and I'm going to read it.
All right.
Now, are there certain skills that most parents have to learn, like when they come in day one, other than diapers go here, and et cetera, et cetera?
Right. So depending on the class that they're taking, it might differ. So there are classes that are for babies where we're talking about baby basics and things of that nature. We even talk about car seat safety. And then for some of our older classes, we do have concrete skills and strategies we offer for managing out-of-control behavior, helping your child stay calm, helping yourself stay calm. How do we proactively manage a situation? So it's extremely powerful and effective if we work on preventive parenting. So before we let the situation preventive parenting, preventive teaching. So if we know a certain of a play date might be a trigger, or we know we go to the pool, that might be a really challenging place for them to follow directions. We want to prevent a problem from happening. So we actually have concrete strategies and skills that we teach families on how to prevent problems from happening. And then if problems happen, because problems are going to happen and conflicts are going to arise, we have different ways to manage and correct certain negative behaviors.
Excellent. I think you have those poor kids trapped now that you're learning from the parents. But one thing that I see with most young parents, and you can tell me if you have a special class for this, how do you hook up that baby seat in the back of the car? Most of them say, oh, my gosh, I'm spending half an hour just to, in fact, sometimes they get two of them just so that they don't have to move it in and out and hook it up. Is that is there a class on that?
Not only do we have a class, EAC Network has an entire program around that. It's called our Safe Start program, and they provide free car seat checks and installation throughout Nassau and Suffolk County. And they are at the same phone number as the Parenting Institute, which is at 631-648-7100. And both the Long Island Parenting Institute and Safe Start can be reached there.
I was saying that as a joke. I thought I was making a funny remark there. But so that really isn't that big. I thought it was just the 2 or 3 parents that I talk to and see, and they're trying to get
I can tell you that I personally utilize them on the weekly basis as I'm moving car seats in and out of my own cars, and having the Safe Start program check and double check them to make sure they're installed correctly.
As young mothers yourselves, do you find that that's very helpful to you because you're going through these problems? And
incredibly helpful. Incredibly helpful.
It is. I sometimes step back from a class after teaching and think, wow, these skills really do work. I see the fruit in my own parenting and in my child's behavior.
So I think we can say to everybody listening, if you're having some problems, if you're the grandparent and want to recommend to your son or daughter or that person down the block who we won't name, you may want to tell them about the Parenting Institute, what they can do. We'll give you more information. They have locations in Central Islip, if I remember, Hempstead,
and Hauppauge.
And the phone number is?
631-648-7100, extension 217.
We've got this down pretty well.
Yes, we do. You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Zac Turkel, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Long Island Parenting Institution with Grazielle Simonetti, their parent educator, and their program director, Kathryn Cannino. And I was looking at your website earlier, and it says that you use tools such as Common Sense Parenting and Bright Beginnings. Could you tell us a little bit more about those tools and what they offer?
Sure. The Bright Beginnings class is a class for parents of children 2 months to 17 months old, and that's a curriculum that was developed through the Ackerman Institute, and we're lucky enough to be able to use it in our institute. And we have designed that class in a way that the children come with their parents every other week for a play session. So the nice thing of having a class for parents of babies is that it's one thing to know the skills, but then you get to actually come and practice the skills with your child every other week. And our Common Sense Parenting class, we have 2 curricula under that. There's our toddler and preschooler curricula, and then also the school age. And those classes are a bit more formal in the sense that we have homework and reading assignments, and there are video examples and role play. But parents really get to dive into all the tools week by week. The first 3 weeks are all about preventive teaching, positive encouragement, and praise. And then the last 3 weeks are about the negative behaviors and decreasing those.
You're giving so many good ideas. I'm just amazed as I'm sitting here listening to them, but I think you're going to make a lot daily life easier for parents. And I'm thinking, too, this must be a social outlet, too, that's nice for the parents.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Home or working, that they get out, talk to other parents, and just meet new friends, probably their own age group, too.
Absolutely.
And an ideal solution.
And I think it normalizes some of the issues that parents are experiencing in their own world. When you come together and hear that you're not the only one, where perhaps another parent has it worse, it really does relieve some of that burden and that pressure.
Right, and things that are developmentally appropriate. One thing that comes to mind is biting. A parent will be panicked that their toddler's biting, and then we're in class and 4 parents are like, oh, that just happened this morning. You feel that sigh of relief of, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, this is typical of toddlers. So just, again, getting that support, that's not even part of the curriculum. That's just hearing from other families who are in the same life space that you are, experiencing the same thing that you are. It's tremendously helpful.
Do you get any feedback after the course is completed? Do parents you're nodding yes, so I'm guessing so, and you're smiling, so it must be good. It must be good feedback.
Yeah. It is. We do have pre and post surveys for all of our groups, and those statistically will show that there is about 95% success rate as far as parents feeling more confident after leaving our classes. But anecdotally, we get parents who call and text and email,
cry,
cry and hug, and really really feel appreciated.
And that's nice too. Confidence is such an important thing. Just they're doing something, but you say, "Wait, this isn't working," and maybe it takes 3 days or 3 hours or whatever the patterns that they have to fit in, so they know they're not doing the wrong thing or being a bad parent.
Right. And when they're having challenging behaviors with their children, sometimes this enlightened moment comes where they say, "Oh, I'm the one that has to change to help my child." Right? I have to shift certain things. I didn't think of that, and by shifting this one thing or learning how to communicate in this, in this way, and we do it in a very non-judgmental, very supportive way. My changing my behaviors has positively affected the whole household. My things in my marriage are stronger, and I'm communicating better even with my family, with my parents. So they get those skills that'll help them in all different facets of life.
And if they don't come to you, they're probably going to wind up on Dr. Phil. They're going to be fighting with their husband and their mother-in-law and everybody else. So it's a lot easier. They just have to go to Hop Park. They don't have to go to California. They don't have to have all their neighbors see them. So.
Yeah. What are the greatest barriers in reaching parents throughout Long Island?
Transportation is a huge issue on Long Island, as well as with any parent. There's a lot of time restraints. We're just simply too busy, and so we've made some accommodations by providing multiple locations, by having a variety of classes that parents can choose from. And I often say that without a game plan, parents parent with mood and energy level, and we're really there to provide that game plan for parents.
Before we wrap up, once again, this is your chance for a free commercial. Tell us where we can get in touch with you, how we get in touch, and the locations.
You can call us at 631-648-7100 extension 217, or you can find us on the website eacnetwork.org, and we are offering classes in Central Islip, Hauppauge, and Hempstead.
And you get 2 experts helping you out. You get to meet some of your fellow parents and see what they're learning, and you stay off Dr. Phil's show. So it's a three-way win, triple win if you do it. We want to thank the Long Island Parenting Institute today for coming in. Our guest, Grazielle Simonetti, the parent educator, and their program director, Kathryn Cannino. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
And to our audience, go out there, meet these people, and you'll raise better kids, you'll have a better life, and you'll sleep better. Thanks for being with us on My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to whpc@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.